This is where we ended yesterday. By bringing down this whole idea of Baki Barotze, Baki Beshoyev, how you have to know how to go up in levels, and you have to know even when you're down in the dumps that Hashem is still there. You have to know both levels. Even when you're spiritually satisfied, first of all, you should never be spiritually satisfied, but even when you are on a spiritual high, you should always want more. You should never be satisfied. And if you're in the dumps, you should know that Hashem is there too. And try to bring in Hashem as well there. So, by understanding this concept of being Baki Barotze Beshoyev, you'll be able to connect and link together this Torah. We had this Aleph that we discussed has an upper point and a lower point, and that's the Baki Barotze Baki Beshoyev. The two yuds on the top and the bottom of the Aleph, that is the concept of Baki Barotze Baki Beshoyev. By understanding all these kavanas that he brought down with the Shem Kof Samach Aleph and the Shem Samach Gimel, with the seg oil in the bottom and the chirik in the bottom, all that, by understanding these kavanas, you'll be able to understand the concept of Baki Barotze. And this is also the concept of tshuva al tshuva, which we discussed before, that you have to do tshuva on tshuva. Which anyone that wasn't here before is basically whenever you reach a level of understanding of sagas and Elokim, is when you go to the next level, you realize that the previous level you were kind of Megashem Hashem, because you're on a higher level, so you're doing tshuva on tshuva. So in the beginning of the Torah, we said that when we do tshuva, that's shechting the Yetzer Hara, because he said that when you hear someone humiliating you and you don't respond, that's when you empty out the blood of the left side of the heart, and you change colors. You turn white and then you turn red, and that's that concept of doing that. Yes, doctor, that's what. White and red. We're talking about blood cells over here. So
that's what you said the last couple of days. The whole left side empties, which is where the blood is, and then we turn pale.
Ah, okay. Here you go. So that's what Nachman says is shechting the Yetzer Hara, which that shebechin is doim l'Hashem. That's when you're quiet to Hashem. Shebechin is tshuva rishoyna. That's a tshuva rishoyna. Shebechin is kavod olam haba. When someone is quiet, that's the first step of tshuva, and that's the kavod of olam haba. Zebechin is nekuda tachtoin. That's the lower level of tshuva. Shenasim v'chiras adimim v'shtika. That happens from being quiet. Mebechin is doim l'Hashem. That quietness is the concept of the chirik from the Shem Samach Gimel, which that is bechinas Baki Beshoyev. That is knowing how to bring in Hashem in the lower levels. The tshuva shniya, the second tshuva, that you do on the first tshuva, bechinas kavod olam haba. That's already bechinas of kavod olam haba, which we said also before that kavod olam haba doesn't mean olam haba when you pass away from the world and in the other olamas. Olam haba means every minute you're creating olam haba, because the world is becoming, right? So right now we're here, which is Eke, and the world is becoming. Every minute, every second, there's a new world happening. That's olam haba. That anyone that Hashem gives kavod, no one is going to question that kavod. That's the upper nekuda of the aleph. Bechinas keser, which is a crown, which that is Moshe. That is bechinas segler. So he says, and you should understand. You should understand as well how everything in the Torah is ties together. He says that those who dive into it will understand a little bit. It's like you're not going to understand the whole concept, but those who dive into it will understand a little bit of it. It's like almost like tachlis idea shaloneda, right? The whole concept of knowing is to know that you don't know, and the more you know, the more you realize that you don't know. The ikar adaver. The ikar is shaldesha adam keshuba madrega tachtoina ma'oit. When someone is in a low madrega, af bikeinu mechalik atzmo imamin shegam sham yesh letikva daim. He's mechazik himself and he believes. It's all about belief. If you don't believe, then you can't create that chizik. That there's still hope there. Hashem is also there. That even in Gehenna, even in the Shoel Tachtis, Hashem is there. When someone knows that and believes that, then he's mamshach on himself Hashem Havaya, the Milu Samach Gimel, Shu Machaya Kol an Soigim Ochar Megdashosai, which is Machaya, anyone that retreated from any holiness, Lachzikam Laval Yiple Legamre, by just having that thought of Hashem is there with me, that gives the koyach of Laval Yiple Legamre, not to fall, God forbid, entirely. Chaz v'sholom. V'zeh b'chinas Baki v'shoy, shezeh b'kiyas, b'chinas Shem Yabek, Kodesh b'chinas Shem Samach Gimel. V'chein. When someone gets into a madriga of a higher madriga, and he's not there because he's not always there, or he's not satisfied by being in this madriga. He falls, or he's not satisfied, which is also a form of falling. Every madriga he reaches, he says that's not enough. When you get married, you start working, and you get a job of $50,000, and you're like, if I would only have a job of $100,000, I'll be fine. Then when you get that job of 100, you're like, if I would have 150, 200,000, I'm good. Then you get to the 200, and then you're like, if I'm only, so it's always it's Yesh Lemon Rotz Messiah is not a problem. People look at it, Yesh Lemon Rotz Messiah, but you're never going to be satisfied. Yeah, it's not a problem. That's in human nature, and it should be in the human nature to constantly want more. If someone doesn't want more, then it's a problem, because then you can't be standing in one level. You're either going up or going down. I always say that Yiddishkeit is like a escalator coming down, and you go up that escalator. If you run too fast, you'll fall down and hurt yourself. If you go too slow, in the end, you'll see yourself down the bottom. So you have to find that right speed where you go a little bit faster than the escalator coming down, and at the end, you'll be on the top. It's going to take some time, but so it's constantly coming down. If you don't do anything, you see yourself down. So everyone always needs to have a desire to grow. It's in Rachnius and it's in Gashmi, the same thing. That's why it's not good to retire. Sabbaticals, you can take every few years, but retiring, no. You don't want to retire, and it doesn't exist in Yiddishkeit. Doesn't exist in any retirement. You never see any retirement. Did Lubavitcher ever retire? No. He was standing there working. He didn't take a day of vacation. So it's the same thing. He says, Lalas yoiser v'yoiser. Everyone always should strive to become better and better, higher and higher. When someone does that, he's mamshech l'shem eked b'milukuf samachalash b'chnas baki b'rotzu. Ki adam kafitinius, someone, a person, kafiyas chaskosoi, a person in accordance with his actions and with his in the manner of which he strengthens himself. The way he strengthens himself and the way he acts, that's the way how he brings down the shemas. Now, even though we don't understand to these shemas and we don't know how to have kavanas of the shemas, but at least we're in oil masiyah, we have to do. So the Rebbe says over here, look, this is what you have to do. You have to strive for more, and when you're in the spiritual in a high level, and you have to bring in Hashem when you're in a low level. All the shemas, all those things will already come to us. It will happen. But we have to do our thing. Even if you don't have in mind the shemas, it will come. We said already before that through dmima and shtika, so that you're quiet when someone is embarrassing you. Which tshuva is a keser, canal, like we said before, right? For chachma, the more chachma is, if you want to see if someone has chachma, depends on his shtika. You have to be done. Everyone lekav zechus. Even though people that are against you and attack you and insult you, and through that you'll make that concept of keser, which is baki berotzu, which is the top. Kamuva b'medrash, you bring down a mashal echet shemotzas chaverish ois keser. Someone saw his friend making a crown. Amalai bishvil mi, who's this for? Amalai bishvil hamelech, it's for the king. Amalai kivin shetzoyach hamelech. Since it's for the king, call even tov shetimtza tegreneboy. Every stone that you can find, every jewel you can find, make sure you put into that crown, because that crown is for the king. So it says, kach kol echad mi Yisrael, every one of us, who begins keser Hashem is barach, is we're like a crown to Hashem. So we have to put into that crown all kinds of good stones. We have to find all kinds of nekudas toivas in every yid. We have to judge everyone favorably. If each one of us is a keser, then we have to make sure to find stones and put it into the keser. By us finding nekudas toivas and other yidden, we're installing stones into the keser, which is Hashem's keser. By judging someone favorably, and through that, when you're going to be judging someone, you will be quiet, because you're not going to respond, because you're going to know that it's a test for you to be able to instill more stones. So he's not chayav so much, because if someone embarrasses you, then that person technically is chayav. But by you finding schusim on him, it's not chayav. And understand this.